Yeah. We back. What's going on? No Perfect Seasons 1.0. I'll probably get rid of that in the league title, whatever. But as for right now, it's the Fantasy Flex Week 1. Get up into the standings. You got the North Division right now being headed off by 3 teams because it's only Week 1. So if you won, you on top. If you lost, you on the bottom. Right now, the 1-0 teams in the North Division are the Woodruff, Orlando Pain, and the Bronx Giants. The 2 teams that lost last week in that division would be myself, the Florida Sharks, along with the New York Hitmen. And now we move on to the South Division. South Division goes right now is being headed up by 2 teams, the K-Town Predators and the Late Greats, both 1-0 records. DeJuan, feel free to change the name of your team. You don't have to be going out calling yourself the Late Greats. Tampa Bay Bulls, Tallahassee Expendables, and I don't know, man, Team D12, D whatever, DUI, are all 0-1, so they're all 1 game back. And we'll move into the scores for last week's matchups. The first score of the week, you got the Bronx Giants taking on the New York Hitmen. Very close matchup. Final score on that was 99-95. Rashard Menenthal was the leading scorer for the Giants with 27 points. Ronnie Brown, the leading scorer for the Hitmen, with 14 points. Then you move on to the Late Greats taking on the Tallahassee Expendables. The Late Greats leading scorer, Chris Johnson, with 34. Matt Forte, the leading scorer, with 33 for the Tallahassee Expendables. However, the final in the matchup was Late Greats 143, the Tallahassee Expendables 104. Moving on up to the next matchup, you got the K-Town Predators taking on Donnie Lucas's team. Exclamation points, D82, whatever it says. Final score in that one was 129-81. Peyton Manning, the leading scorer for the Predators, with 38 points. Miles Austin with 20 points, leading scorer for the 82s. Next matchup puts the Tampa Bay Bulls going up against the Orlando Pain. This is a rivalry match right here. These two have had things brewing since we've all been playing fantasy. Right now, leading scorer for both teams for the Orlando Pain would be Phillip Rivers with 28 points. Tom Brady with 28 points for the Tampa Bay Bulls. However, the scores or the final score in that matchup was 133-109. The Orlando Pain take the tilt in that first matchup. This will be a heavily rivaled matchup. We will be keeping up tabs on this as we progress throughout the season, throughout the next matchups, and so forth. But let's move on up to the final matchup, which was my matchup. I took on Team The Woodruff. I believe he actually put up the most points in the league last week. Yes, that is correct, with 150 points. Woodruff beat my ass last week. So shout outs to Jason. What he was doing his thing last week. His leading scorer was Arian Foster, putting up the 51 spot this week. My leading scorer for the Sharks was Drew Brees with 17 points, which crapped out on me, but that's here nor there. Now we move on up to the previews for next week's matchups. Next week's matchups looks like they're going like this, or the matchups that will be that are currently underway, but won't start until Sunday because I don't think there's any Thursday games. First matchup, you got the 1-0 Orlando Pain taking on the 0-1 Florida Sharks. So this is another rivalry match. We'll see how this goes. Then you got the Team 82s taking on the Tampa Bay Bulls. Those teams are both 1-0, 0-1, seeking their first win of the year. Then you got the Tallahassee Expendables with their 0-1 record taking on the K-Town Predators with the 1-0 record. Fourth matchup of the week puts the New York Hitmen with his 0-1 record up against the Woodruff's 1-0 record. So looking to extend the streak. Somebody's trying to break theirs. We'll keep it moving up until the last matchup, which puts the Late Great and the Bronx Giants, who are both undefeated because they both have 1-0 records, going up against each other next week. I'm not going to get into ESPN's projections because a lot of times they just frustrate me. So that is the wrap up. This is Flex. Fantasy Flex is going down. Tune in next week. We'll have the results. I guess I could do them on Mondays or on probably Tuesdays, but some teams, well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Mine doesn't have waivers, so I don't have to wait. I'm not running shows in any other leagues. So, on that note, flex out.